So I'm 6 months into retiring early and living as a nomad. And is it worth it? Was it a good idea to sell everything and spend most of my time in Southeast Asia, living a relatively low cost of living? Well, let me tell you a few things how I'm feeling. And it's not all roses and honey and things like that. There are some good things and some not so great things. Currently, I'm in Ho Chi Minh City for the next 3 weeks, and it's been raining for a couple of days, and I kind of felt a little bit more, not morbid, but kind of more serious. We're in a very busy city, and it got me thinking about, could I really do this long term? Could I just go around big cities and maybe go to the beach every now and then, and that's the rest of my retirement? Not entirely sure. Let me give you some thoughts I had on that. Yeah, so really the first thing is about how am I feeling. So I was kind of feeling down in the dumps. One of the things that happens when you're nomadic is you don't have as much interaction with your buddies to chew the fat and really talk about stuff, get stuff off your chest. So I kind of have to maybe use this as one of my avenues to get stuff off my chest. So when you're feeling, not everybody's happy 24/7, right? So I'm just putting it out there, guys. When you retire, yeah, you got money. Yeah, you're not worried about paying bills so much, but it doesn't make you happy. Being retired will not make you happy. You have to make yourself happy by being intentional and having a routine and making sure you take care of your mind and your body. And that's kind of an overarching message, but I'm going to get into some specific examples of that. So I thought I was the go-go guy. So I had this plan, right? Best case, you live for 30 years. First 10 years, go, explore the planet. Second 10 years, slow go, find a home base, and still do your travel, do your fun. And then the third 10 years is the no-go. You kind of basically want to stay on your couch and live without your memories and spend time with your kids and grandchildren. So how's that going? Well, I'm 6 months into my go-go, and I'll be honest with you, I feel like slowing down already. I'm 59 now, and when I come to a place like Ho Chi Minh City, where I'm pretty much having to get used to cross the street without a traffic light or a pedestrian crossing, and it kind of stresses me out. Here I have to watch the sidewalk because I might break an ankle because many of the sidewalks are not maintained. So am I a go-go guy? I thought I was a go-go guy. Probably not as go-go as I thought. But let me go to the next one. So I'm kind of in my mind almost looking for a nest already. I told you about Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. Those are the top two. Da Nang, which I was last month, and Ho Chi Minh City, they're already off the list. So I've been to 6 countries, probably been to about 8 or 9 cities, and I've only got 2 candidates so far, which is Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok. And I'll be honest with you, Bangkok is above Kuala Lumpur simply because it's a more liberal society. You're not constantly seeing someone's religion on the way they dress or the way they look at you, quite frankly. And for me, it's got a good cost of living, and it's very friendly Western people. All the hype you hear about Bangkok and about Thailand, it's true. It is a good place to be. So right now, that's on my top list. And if and when I pick a home base, I would do it in Bangkok and then travel from there. All right, some basic things that happened recently that kind of got me thinking, what the heck's going on here? So my Visa card was some suspected fraud, and my transactions get declined. I have to call Visa and get it all sorted out. Now, they were very good. They sent me a new card within 4 days, so it worked out. But it's just one of those things. When you're moving from country to country, you're every now and then your credit card company is going to say, that doesn't look legit to me, and you have to call them up, and it can be quite annoying, but that just happens, and that wouldn't happen in the States, but it's happening here. First time it's happened in 6 months, but it did happen. The other one is fear of my debit card not working. Now, I'm going to show you this traffic. Hold on a second. Fear of my debit card not working. So my fear is that my debit card, when I go and get cash at the ATM is going to eat up my debit card and not give it back to me, and that would be a bad day at the office for Stuart. So having your ATM card taken away from you, similar story. If that did ever happen, I'd have to get one sent to me wherever I am in the world and hope that it gets to me. Next thing that's kind of making me stressed out. So the hassle of monthly travel. Now, we've been pretty good about staying somewhere 30 days. Quite honestly, it does get to be a bit stressful though, because you have to pick a place, you got to make travel plans. You hope you pick a good place and you hope everything goes smoothly, but doing that every month, I'm the designated travel agent in the family, and it's a responsibility I have because we don't have a permanent visa. We're not allowed to stay in any country more than 60 or 90 days. So it's just one of those things, you've got to do it. As I try and cross the road without getting run over. Even though the green man says go, guess what? In Ho Chi Minh City, it doesn't matter. Next thing, traffic. Traffic. One of my criteria in retirement is walkable neighborhoods. So this is a walkable neighborhood in some regards, because you got all your interesting landmarks, you got places to go, and as a tourist, got masses and masses of restaurants and department stores and malls, and so yeah, come here as a tourist, get your pictures, get your videos. Get your videos, and I'm sure you have a great time. Now, but traffic here is just crazy. Now, they do have rush hours like everywhere else, but I'm not renting a bike. I'm not renting a car. So I'm relying on Grab or walking, and that's fine, but it's a different lifestyle. You don't have your personal mode of transport, your luxury car to get you from door to door. With an organized highway system and an organized set of traffic lights and rules that people are basically trying to obey. Here it's a lot different, and so I don't have the confidence to do that. So I'm basically walking or getting somebody else to drive me around. That's not a problem, it's just different. And so you have to embrace it. Now, maybe in the future, if I move to another part of the world, I'll be a bit more independent about walking around or driving around by myself. So just FYI, it can get you after a while feeling a little bit trapped, waiting for your Grab driver to get to you. Maybe I'll adjust, I don't know. Next one, it's noise. And this is by far the noisiest city I've ever been in. When it comes to, especially nighttime. So in Da Nang, we stayed about a mile from a place that was having looks like a wedding. And they had the karaoke system going here. Now, we could hear it very loud and clear from a mile away, and we actually walked past it. I'm telling you, people are going to go deaf. There's something about the karaoke noise here and the level of the music that gets played. It's amazing. And so bring your earplugs. If you want to go to a show or get entertainment, bring your earplugs. You're going to need them to protect your ears. Again, this is the old man talking, but that's how I think. And the other one is, this city doesn't sleep. Similar scenario. If you've got bars and clubs or nightclubs or whatever entertainments that are going on, they'll go until 3 in the morning. And depending where you're staying, you're going to get entertainment whether you like it or not. So just bear that in mind when you decide to stay somewhere, that nighttime noise. It's good for a couple of week holiday, but if you live there 24/7 year round, you might think twice about it. Next one, language barrier. This is one I thought I could not get fazed about. Language barrier. But I have had a few interactions here, particularly in Ho Chi Minh, where literally the person had zero English. And this was like a restaurant or a hotel. And maybe it's my fault because I'm not picking up enough of the local language. So I do use Google Translate, but it just adds that extra layer. I went to the pharmacy today, tried to buy some hair gel, and I'm looking at these 25 different products. They're mostly not labeled in anything I can read. I'm getting my Google Translate. So everything's just an extra hassle factor, extra effort, extra mental effort, and it can tire you out. Now, is it going to make me stronger, make me more resilient? I think so. I hope so. That's the positive side, is that I'm not sitting on my couch in my basement watching the news back in Massachusetts. I'm doing something very different. But the surprising factor is it can be mentally draining because every day you're learning something new. And last couple of days I was kind of getting a little bit annoyed at that. But now that I feel like, well, I asked for it, so I got it. So here we go. Okay, next one. Accommodation uncertainty. I talked about this in one of my other videos about whether I got ripped off here in Ho Chi Minh. And that's another reason that it's nice to go back to a place that you are very familiar with, even if you're renting. So I could rent a place here for a couple of grand a month, a nice place, a nice 2-bedroom, and kind of put my creature comforts there and then use that as a base. And I think after a year or two of this complete nomad, I might go to that semi-nomad scenario, because I like to know where I'm going at the end of a trip more than I like the excitement of discovering a new place. And that's kind of a feeling that I'm not as go-go as I thought I was. Let's keep going. Health uncertainty. So, you know, my wife got a cold or something. She's been coughing for about a week. I got a little bit of a sniffle, and kind of makes you a little bit grouchy. And then you think about, what if I got really sick? What would I do? Now in Bangkok or KL, I know what I would do. I would find one of the best hospitals or clinics, and I would go there and I could get taken care of with someone who speaks English and someone that isn't going to charge me an arm and a leg. So I have a plan, right? I don't know, I didn't do the legwork I should have about Ho Chi Minh City, what I would do if that happened to me there. But it just kind of sets the wheels turning. And what I want to do is, next time I go to a new city, so in 2 weeks we're going to Kuala Lumpur, right? For Ramadan. I'm going to make an extra effort to go to a hospital, bring my healthcare plan that I have for emergencies. I'm going to ask them, will you cover this plan and will you pay direct to this insurer, and just get an honest answer so I can become an expert in that, rather than wait until I get sick and then find out that possibly I'm not as well covered as I thought I would be. So next one. Next one is boredom. So my buddy back in Massachusetts, John Murray, he'll send me a text every month or so, and one of his punchlines is, "Are you bored yet?" And I tell him, I get bored every day. I get bored every day. And that's because I didn't have any hobbies, and I worked my ass off my whole career for 35 years. So I never gave myself enough time to develop a wide array of interests. So I'm working on that now, because I have a lot of time on my hands, and you can't just fill it up with touristic stuff. There's not that much that's worth doing as a tourist once you figure it out. You know, it's better to live like a local and have actual hobbies and actual interactions and actual friends and things you enjoy, places you like going back to as a local, and not just go for a daily tour that you booked on Expedia or Booking.com or Get Your Guide or whatever. So boredom's a real thing. And the way I'm dealing with it is, for my mental health, I'm picking up this hobby. And for my physical health, I'm picking up the gym hobby, which I did have before. And making some more efforts to have a frequent communication with my kids in the States and my brother. So I'm meeting my brother in May in Greece for his birthday. So I'm trying to make sure that my boredom / mental health doesn't lead to bad habits. Next thing is bad habits. So what's a bad habit? Well, if you have a bad habit when you're working, it's kind of controlled, right? So you have to show up basically on a Monday morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, report to a manager, do work that actually makes a difference with a high quality in order to get paid in 2 weeks. So now the shackles are off. I don't have a boss. Schwab doesn't care what I do with my free time because they've got my portfolio that they're managing. They don't care. I had a call with them a couple of days ago just to do an update, but they don't care what I do. And so if you've got a bad habit like, oh, I don't know, drinking too much, smoking too much, doing too many drugs, eating too much, gambling, whatever bad habit you might have or you might think that you are keeping under control because you have to show up on Monday morning with bright-eyed and bushy tail, then that governor will be gone. So you need to think about that. You are your own governor. Now, my wife's a wonderful person. She will never put me down. But she's not my babysitter either. So you are your own governor in retirement. And you better have a plan to govern yourself and consciously do it and not just bring your bad habits into retirement and say, oh, good. Well, now they're not bad habits anymore. They're just habits. It doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work that way. So think about that. Okay, so have I painted a bleak picture of early retirement in low cost of living countries? Does that suck? No, it doesn't suck. It's great. But it doesn't make you happy. Not by itself. It's a massive opportunity of self-discovery. And I don't know, I've heard these stories from other YouTubers, that a year after people retire, they die, they lose interest, they get depressed, they get unhealthy, they have bad habits. I totally get that. And that's why I'm talking about it. Because just because you don't have to work 40 hours a week for money and you have the freedom to decide what you want to do every day, that's sufficient and good for a nice, long, healthy retirement, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. All the other stuff I said is very, very important. Guys, I hope this wasn't too serious for you. I just wanted to be honest, and hopefully the sun's going to come out here pretty quick and I'm going to adjust my attitude. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not bad-mouthing anywhere. I'm here by choice. So the fact that I'm in Southeast Asia and I'm struggling with some things and enjoying others, it's entirely a reflection of me. It's just an example of somebody that comes from a leafy suburb in the northeast of America. If you think you're going to dive into the exciting warm waters of Southeast Asia and swim with the fishes and make friends with the sharks, and it's all going to be hunky-dory, think again. Get ready if you can. Make exploratory trips if you can. Get your mind ready. Be flexible. Be patient. Be nice. Be kind and smile. And I think you'll have a great time. Please put some comments below if you think I'm talking out of my ass or if any of this makes sense to you. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.